before you get into it, I just want to let you know that I told everyone prior to this that I spoke to you off the air. It isn't that something that I'm trying to hide from anyone, that I speak to you because I am
Yep.
not ashamed or afraid to speak to you, and I
Mm-hmm.
also speak to Richie. And I told you that Richie is my brethren.
Yep.
Yeah. However, I think you should be heard. Yeah. I think you
Yep.
should I think you should have a say. Richie said his piece yesterday, and I think you did some videos prior. But there are questions that many of us as Jamaicans and around the world, fans of Richie Stevens, have.
Yep.
And I think you are the best person to ask, to give us a little bit more information on what really happened. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
if you could walk us through some of the things that happened, and you know, feel free, speak to the people.
Okay. Let me breathe. It's always very traumatizing when you actually have to recap it, but I do understand that people need to hear and listen to what exactly happened. So I'm sure you've heard the Singapore part, whereby, when he first met me, he stuck his tongue down my throat, during which my partner saw and he had to be held back. And then after that, I'm just gonna zoom
When
past.
you say your partner, you the person your fiance saw.
Yes, and he really wanted to punch him because everybody could see that he was forcing himself onto me.
So someone actually was there that witnessed this.
Yes, and
Okay.
not just him. He actually asked around because it was an event that we brought him in Singapore to this very high class place called C'est La Vie, that I was assisting with, several aspects of the setup, the event, because I was very much assisting my friend, Asia One, who, is based here in Singapore, and we were working with Richie Stevens at a point of time. That was the first time I met him. And then we didn't really keep in contact much until, again, the next time of the meeting was in Jamaica, where I was also following along my friend Asia One, and I was doing documenting of this journey, this beautiful journey of bringing reggae music or bringing Jamaican culture into Asia. So she was doing some recordings, music were being planned, and I was just there documenting everything. During which nothing really funny happened until one night where when she was asleep, he tried to kiss me again. And then during which pushed him away. I said stop. And he stopped. So that's twice. After that, came back, did our thing. For people who think that I actually went on the tour for him, I didn't. The tour in question is called Jamaican Flavor Tour. So that was, I think, in timeline was, I think, September, they were announcing that they were going to New York, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Australia, Japan, and then I think New York again, if I'm not wrong. So the Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia, that part of the tour were organized by my friend. So after that, when I was on the tour, New York, I didn't follow them, but when I followed along, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, I was helping with administration. I was also doing a little bit of documenting because this was supposed to be a whole documenting of a journey of collaboration of bringing Jamaican music into Asia. Now, Australia, where Asia had her own shows, but she also was on Jamaican Flavor. Sorry, not what was that? JMFF, Jamaican Music and Food Festival. So those were the two artists on the bill, Richie and Misha. Each of them had their own slots. I was there, not part of Richie's team. I was there for Major One. I was there to document the journey of bringing Jamaican music into Asia, of making sure that this whole journey is captured when Indonesian collaborations were in place. All right, so I hope this explains how I end up from Singapore to then being with him in Australia. I was not involved in any of the accommodation planning, but we were housed together, me, Misha, and Reggie. We had separate rooms, but a common living space. And before everybody addressed, why am I so naive to be in the same place with him? Well, the extent that I thought he would go to was he would try to flirt with me, that he would try to kiss me, because these are all things that he has done. But also, every single time, when during that point of time I said no, he respected that no. So I have then thought in my head, okay, when I say no, I'm gonna be respected. I'm gonna be safe. I end up calling him an uncle because he ends up calling me his niece. And I was like, okay, I should feel that, we're like family. My friend was like his sister. And this would feel that he would protect me. He won't hurt me. Maybe he'll try something funny, try to flirt. But beyond that, nothing else. So that was the line that we all thought was the threshold. So throughout this whole part of Australia's tour, I was never left alone until the 12th of November 2019. But I was, because my friend wanted to go to the studio, do her thing, record her stuff. I stayed behind to edit a music video that I was way, way, way behind on. All right. As I was editing my music video, this whole thing happened in the living room. So it was a white living room, almost like a 2-room space. I was sitting on the dining table area, which it was side here. The other side was the sofa where he was sitting. So when I was working, as I was working, of course I only focused on working, right? But I also heard what was going on. He was having phone calls, not sure who to, but was talking about his mom, said that he was worried about his mom. And then I was like, oh, that's sad. I hope everything's okay. That was me thinking. But I didn't say anything. I just continued working until he asked for a hug. So, okay, I accept. I can give you that hug. So I went there, gave him a hug. I apologize for the extra noise around.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So
what? Let me just ask you quickly. So why you thought it was okay to give him a hug when he asked for a hug? For a hug.
well, I thought it was okay because I felt pity for him. I felt sympathy for him that he was worried for his mom. And because he's worried for his mom and he's upset with his mom, I feel that, okay, a hug should be safe. You know, a hug should be safe. Nothing else should come from it. You needed some consolation. That's it. You needed something, you know, just to calm yourself down. Okay, hug. I trusted that he had a boundary. I trusted that I would be safe when I gave him that hug. But what I didn't expect after that was how he manipulated me to the point where he then stuck a finger in me. And that's when I got really, really, really scared.
When you say manipulated you, can you explain a little bit how?
Well, first he asked for a hug, and then the sofa was tight, so it was very tough to have a sit-down hug. So he asked me to lie on him, to hug. I trusted him. After that, he told me, "Oh, you're too heavy." Okay?
You said you are too heavy.
Yeah, I'm too heavy. So now I lie down. Okay. I had a bit of a red flag coming with me that point of time, but I just told myself, okay, he has a line that he wouldn't cross. He's upset with his mom. He is an uncle, right? You should protect your family. You should be safe. Okay. So then I laid down, but then I realized that I got placed in a very compromising position. So when the finger came in, caught me off guard. I panicked. I got scared. And the only thing at the point of time, I can't explain why, but I could only think of going to the toilet. I needed a toilet. I told him I need to go to the toilet. I didn't feel safe to run out. I felt like something bad was happening. And sorry.
Take your time.
It's still triggering.
Yeah, take your time, sister.
For those people who think I'm acting, it's not.
Don't worry about what people have to say. Say your piece.
Okay. So he stuck his finger down. I panicked. I could only think of going to the toilet. It was cold at that time. I'm in a foreign country. I cannot run. So I could only go to the toilet. Went to the toilet. Felt so disgusting. Try to wash myself. I locked the door because I was so afraid that she would barge in. I peed, and I had a huge frown when my irritable bowel syndrome kicked in because I was so stressed. I was so stressed. And after that, I tried to extend my time in the toilet. I was basically just taking my hands and making plopping noises just so that it sounds like I'm still busy. When he called out, "What's taking you so long?" I got terrified. I was terrified. I didn't dare to come out of the toilet. But at the same time, I know I have work to do, supposed to get done with things. I can't stay in there forever. And actually, he said something funny to me before I went to the toilet, before he allowed me to go to the toilet. He said, "When you come back, take off your pants, you hear? We have to loosen you up a little." I was utterly shocked, confused, scared. But the one thing that I told myself, I am not giving you what you want. So when I unlocked the toilet, went to my room, quickly put on more pants, and went back to the dining table to continue my work. Because I'm going to be answerable for it if it was not done. So that was one part. After that, when I sat down, did my work, he was constantly asking me to come back. And I was scared. I was really, really, really scared. And after the first time the finger went in, my brain was no longer even thinking straight. This is not something that I expected. I didn't want it to go further. So when he constantly called me back, I was terrified. I didn't want him to come and drag me. I thought that if I would just sit with him, he would either apologize for what he did, or that nothing else would happen. Because he did tell me this. Sit with me, nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. This is what you can tell me. Nothing is going to happen. And I trusted. But I was also scared because of the first thing that has happened. Penetration by the finger that has happened. And I felt like, do I know this guy anymore? And if I don't do what he says, is he gonna do worse? So okay, went back, sat with him. And this is when all hell broke loose. Because that's where he violently, both hands pulled down my pants, and he raped me. It was on me. There was nothing I could do. I felt like I was gonna die. My brain was not processing because this is a man that I trusted had a line. He did that to me the first time. Pulled on my pants. I was scared. I was so scared. Yet at the point of time, I couldn't fight back. And when I say he did it not once, this was the first penetration. He held on to me, flipped me over. And bear in mind, this whole time, even at the first penetration, I said, "What are you doing? Stop. I am not comfortable with this. This is painful. Stop." I was ignored. I was blatantly ignored. When I tried to fight with him, when I tried to tighten my muscles, my thigh muscles so that he cannot go in, the first time round, he ignored me. He just kept saying, "Relax. I don't want to hurt you. You don't want to hurt me." Was that a threat? I understood that as a threat. Am I going to get killed? These were the thoughts that were running in my head. So let's go back to that. He flipped me over, held on to me. Only thing I thought at one time was, let me make it difficult for you. Lift my butt up, purposely dropped it down. Lift my butt up, purposely dropped it down. Each time saying, "No, no, no, stop it, no." Ignored it. Did it anyway. Second time. I was terrified. I'm scared beyond my wits. What can I do? I told him, I need to go to the toilet again. He said later, "I really need to go to the toilet." I plead, I begged for him to let me go. And then he said, "Okay, go." Finally, went into the room, my room, that I shared with my friend. Took my genital wash because I wanted to wash myself. I've never felt so dirty in my life.
Do you want to take a break?
No, I'm okay. I can't stop the emotions and I can't stop the tears from falling. Because every time I tell this story, those memories come back. Those feelings of helplessness, of pain, comes back. But I understand the truth has to be said. I'm here speaking about the truth. So there I was, holding the genital wash. I sat down on the bed.
Sorry, Elaine. When you said you felt dirty, um, can you explain a little bit why you felt so dirty? Was his semen um on you?
No, it's not about that. It's just the fact that you were penetrated by something that you didn't allow, that you had no attachment to. That I have a stable relationship, 14 years with my partner, and it's my sacred temple. It's my sacred temple. That I didn't allow you to enter. That you forced him.
Did he ejaculate inside of you?
No. Because I wasn't done yet. He wasn't done with me yet. And I didn't know it at that time. Which is why I'm going to move on to my third story of me sitting on the bed, holding my genital wash, trying to process what has just happened. I was in shock. I was scared. What can I do? I wanted to take that genital wash. I want to bring it to the toilet. I want to wash myself because I already felt so dirty. But I was stopped because this was when he suddenly came in. He came into the room that was shared by me and my friend. And he asked me, "What are you doing?" I said, "I need to wash myself." And he said, "Nah, man." Immediately, very, very swiftly, came in, grabbed both my legs, and dragged me to the corner of the bed where my friend slept. And then he forced himself on me the third time. Can you imagine how that feels? You're trying to run away. You're trying to stop this man from stopping whatever he's doing. You said no multiple times. You said, "You're hurting me. Stop. This is painful." There was no consideration. He just used me like a toy. I told him, I pleaded with him, "Let me go. Stop." He didn't. He didn't. He was trying to take me as a gratifying toy. He didn't care what I had to say. He didn't care how I felt. I was scared beyond my wits, and the only thing, because I couldn't fight back. I've tried multiple times to tell him to stop. My body couldn't fight back. It froze. And the only thing that time that I wish that my friend would come back and see all this, save me from him. Because what else can I do? What else can I do? I tried fighting. I tried doing what I can. What can I do? Clearly, he was not going to take no for an answer. Clearly, he doesn't care. Do I even know what he's capable of? After a while, he finally stopped. I went to the toilet, cleaned myself thoroughly. Because, like I said, I felt like a smelly ass vagina that was used. And I'm gonna do this so that it's easier, because it's very clear to me right now that my Asian mom can roughly understand what I'm saying, and she doesn't like me to bring this to the public. This is also another risk that I'm taking when I share my story, because Asian shame is real. Even though this was done onto me, when I told my mom about it, initially they were sympathetic, but they do not want me to pursue it any further. They want me to stop. You try to hide all those facts that this happened to me from relatives. So tell me, how do you think I feel? Those watching this, tell me how I'm supposed to feel. A man that you trusted, has just done this to you. Am I wrong for trusting that he wasn't going to try anything funny because he was worried about his mom? And then that's why I gave him a hug. Am I wrong to trust when he said nothing is going to happen? Verbally, he told me nothing's going to happen. What else can I say? Is this rape?
So on the third time, did he? I'm sorry. On the third time, did he ejaculate inside of you?
Honestly, third time, I don't know. I wasn't there anymore. After the end of the ordeal, I wasn't there anymore. I was disassociated. And everyone else is just far away. That's my answer.
So when you left the bathroom, how did you get out of the house? Did your friend come back?
Yes, she did.
And what happened when she came back? What did you say to her?
Oh, I didn't say anything, actually. I didn't say anything to her at all. But I just went back, sat at my computer. And after that, basically just like a ghost, I sat in front of the computer and stared at it, at the empty screen. Because I couldn't process what has just happened. I was in shock.
So how did the police get involved?
So it happened around 12:01 a.m.
In the morning or in the daytime?
in the morning. So when the day comes, because everybody already went, my friend went to sleep. After a while, around 5 a.m., I went to sleep. And then Richie had to go leave to take his Japan visa for the next part of the tour. So that's when she sat down with me, asked me about the work. I told her, didn't manage to get anything done. We both anticipated he would try to kiss and flirt. So she asked me, did anything happen? I said, yeah. And she said, what happened? I told her, I don't know how to tell you. And then she started going up the scale. Did he kiss you? Yes. Did he touch you? Yes. Did he put his dick in you? I stay silent. And upon a time, the only thing that came out was my tears. And she knew. She knew something happened. So she brought me to Melbourne Sexual Health Clinic.
To where?
Melbourne Sexual Health Clinic. Do you need to see a doctor? I said, yes. That's when she brought me to Melbourne Sexual Health Clinic. Went there, did my checks, told the doctor, was given pills to prevent pregnancy. And then after that, went to the women's hospital. And that's when I had to decide, do I want to bring it to the police? I didn't know when I was going to charge him then, but I did all my checks just in case. Did my rape kit. There was a CASA officer there who was going to help me liaison to the police when I need. And when I finally decided, okay, you know what? I'm calling the cops. Police report was made. When the rape kit was done, the police report was made.
So you give a statement to the police?
I gave a statement to the police.
And what happened
A
after
brief
that?
statement.
They arrested him?
And then after that, I needed to decide whether or not I want to charge him. That was another decision that I had to make. So by then it was already night. That's when my friend had already arranged for us to be out of the house, totally out of the house, away from him, to go stay at another person's place, so that I could at least have a safe space. So when I decided to charge, the next day, I went down to the police station and did a 4 to 5 hours interview session for my statement.
What
That's when, most to the end of my statement, they told me that they were going to grab him. Before that, he's tried to call us because we just disappeared. The police made me call him and confront him for what he had done. Which was very, very, very traumatizing. Because now you have to confront the person who did that to you. And it's still so fresh.
What did he say? What did he say when you confronted him?
He said that he was not proud of what he's done.
In front of the police?
That was on the phone. But that phone
the
call
police-
was recorded.
The police heard that?
Yeah, the police reviewed the tape. There was a recorded tape that the police made me call him and was recorded. And he said, I wasn't proud of what I've done, but I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't consensual.
Mm.
And of course, I screamed on the phone, what do you mean it was consensual? I said, no, multiple times. I said, no, multiple times. And that's when he also said, why is your site so echoey? Is someone listening to me? I said, no, there isn't. But yeah, of course, it's recorded. But that's when he already knew it was recorded. Because he said, let's talk when you come back.